Hey, this is Tom at Talon Guitar Works, and today I just put a less trem on my Epiphone Sheraton 2. And I ordered the less trem. I saw some videos online talking about it. Duesenberg's a well-established company, been around forever. They make the Mike Campbell Artist Series guitar or Signature Series guitar from Mike Campbell of the Dirty Knobs, formerly of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And I decided, hey, what the hell? People are asking me about it. I'll go ahead and do it. Well, what I did was I bought the Dusenberg from a company in France on eBay. Extremely fast shipping. Don't know how they do it. 5 days I had it. It was $158. It comes with 2 sets of screws, the SAE screws and the metric. One's going to fit in your inserts, the other's not. Use the inserts, or use the ones that you fit your insert, and the 2 washers that are spacers that go underneath it. These are going to keep the less trem from hitting the body of your guitar, especially if it's an arch top guitar. You don't want it dinging it up. It creates just enough space to keep it off. So it was less than 5 minutes to install it. No problem. You could do it at home. What they suggest when you buy it is buying the Shaler, roller nut. That's going to leave a mark. And I bought the Shaler. I did not like the Shaler because the Shaler, when I put it on the post, wobbles. And wobbling bridges don't work with me. Now, I would have also, to use the Shaler post and the Shaler insert, I would have had lifted the inserts out of the body of this with a fulcrum. I would have had to dowel both holes, center mark them, re-drill them for the Shaler inserts, glue those in or press them in, and then put the Shalers on them. I had another bridge, roller bridge, on hand. It was a cheap import one that I got. Cheap but works good. It's got 2 hex adjustment screws on both posts. This helps with intonation. Anybody trying to intonate a Les Paul or Gibson or an Epiphone knows you could walk that G string saddle to its limit and not quite be there yet. With this, I can increase that angle on the bridge itself and get that intonation perfect, which I did. Dropped it on there, it was fine. Now, I know the next question is going to be, well, you had that huge pin in there, and this takes the small pin head too. And this was the diameter of the bridge pin that was in there. Well, behind me is a drill press. I put the pin in the drill press, and I took this handy dandy file, and with light pressure, in about 5 minutes using my caliper, I got the correct size, and it didn't affect the finish of the pin at all. It was still bright and shiny, no problems. So that fit in there perfectly. I know that they make inserts and everything else where you can adapt one to the other. Hey, the drill press and the file were here. So, could you put the Shaler or a roller nut on at home? If you have a drill press or your buddy's got one and you got a simple, medium, fine file, absolutely. Now, why the roller bridge? Friction. Everybody that brings me tremolos talks about tuning stability. With a roller, there is the least amount of friction you can get on this. It's why tires on cars are round and not square. If you've got a V-notched bridge, like the Nashville bridges, every time you drag that string through that bridge, you're either wearing the bridge or wearing the string, and if it hangs up, it doesn't go back into tune. Dusenberg, if you go to their website, recommends if you've got the string pulls that aren't straight, that are common on Epiphone and Gibson headstocks, where they go way out to the side, they recommend widening each nut slot by one size. So let's say it was a 9 string you're using, use your 10 file. If it was a 10, use an 11, and so on and so forth up there. If you don't have the exact file, you could wobble the smaller size file just a hair, and that reduces friction at the nut. If you activate this tremolo and press down on it with your index finger or middle finger across the strings below the nut, you can feel how much those strings are moving. And it's generally, which string? The G string that seems like it moves the most. And the D string also. So, we've covered that part. This is a center blocked guitar. The inserts were in it from the factory. Stick your finger in here, look in here. You got a chunk of wood in there, you can use this trem. If it was originally a trapeze tailpiece that somebody converted, don't do it. Then you got 5/16 inches of top supporting, according to the Elixir website, from 9s to 12s, 84 to 120 pounds of tension. Over time, that's going to start cracking the finish around the inserts, and it's also going to start denting the top of your guitar. Two things you don't want to have happen. So just check in there and make sure you have a center blocked guitar. Some of the import guitars may not be center blocked, but have the inserts in it. So, that's up to you to check. Now, somebody asked, could I put a roller nut like a Fender LSR roller nut on here? The LSR is a 1 11/16 roller nut width, and the Epiphone's a 1 5/8 inch nut width. So taking a 32nd off each side, yeah, I could do it. However, there's a big height difference between the Fender roller nut made for Stratocaster nut slot and the Gibson nuts and the Epiphone nuts. They stand a lot prouder, and they go all the way down to the neck. The Gibson nut or the Fender nuts just go into the fretboard. So, not really. Could I find a roller nut that works? Yeah. Am I going to need to? I'm not sure. I'm going to go play this guitar a bunch. When I did the initial setup on it, it took about 8 passes of tuning the strings, which I completely expected because the spring was getting acclimated. The strings were stretching a little bit. Once I got it there where it was solid, I worked the tremolo arm a couple times, retuned a few more times, worked the tremolo arm, it was back in tune. Then I went to my intonation, and my string height I did with my StuMac digital caliper for nut slot height. That gave me 60 thousandths I wanted, and worked it a little more. That's not a real definitive test. And if you look in the comments, I'll post in about a few days after playing the hell out of this, how the tuning stability actually is. I expect from the initial setup and having worked with other tremolos that it's going to be pretty good. Like I said, I did it to my stuff first. I'm not going to recommend something to you if I haven't used it. I'm not going to shill for a company because they sent me something to buy. No diss on the Shaler. In its correct application, I think it would work great. On this application, I don't like it. I also don't like Jaguar and Jazzmaster tilting bridges. There's no spring on that bridge to bring it back to neutral and maintain that correct intonation. Fender, who basically got the roller nut from Wilkinson and then made their own, doesn't put those on Jazzmasters and Jaguars, and for the life of me, I can't figure it out. Nor do they put roller bridges on the Jazzmaster and the Jaguar. I think they could do better. So anyway, this is Tom at Talon Guitar Works. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. I'm a repair facility in Southwest Florida and also an OEM builder. And look for more videos. I'm going to be doing one on how to set that claw and tune your Fender Strat with your tremolo, so that's got better tuning stability. So look for that one. I'll be out in a few days. And take care, and hope you like the video. Bye.